If someone asked you today to write the story of your life, you could use photographs, videos, and social media. But how did people in ancient India preserve their stories and history? Well, in today's lesson, Historiography, Indian Tradition, we will understand how historical writings developed in India and explore the different traditions through which people recorded history. In the ancient period in India, memories of the great deeds of ancestors and mythological lore, also memories of social transitions, were preserved with the help of oral recitals. Inscriptions on seals and other artifacts from the Harappan civilizations give us an insight that the people of this civilization had learned and practiced the art of writing. The earliest known written document of historical nature found in India are in the form of inscriptions. They are dated to the 3rd century BCE, that is Emperor Ashok Maurya's times. His edicts are inscribed on natural rocks and stone pillars. Inscriptions on coins, metal images and sculptures, and also on copper plates provide important historical information. We get to know about the dates of various kings, dynastic genealogies, territorial extent and administration of various empires and kingdoms, and also important political events, social organization, climate, famines, etc. of the respective times. Apart from inscriptions, ancient literature and travelogues written by foreign travelers are important sources of history. The Harshacharit, written in the 7th century CE by Banabhatta, is King Harsha's biography. It portrays a realistic picture of the social, economic, political, religious, and cultural life during the king's times. A writer known as Kalhana, who belonged to the 12th century, wrote a book known as the Rajtarangini. This book describes the history of Kashmir. The style of writing used by the author is quite similar to the concept of modern historiography. Kalhana himself says that he wrote this text after critically examining various sources like the inscriptions, coins, remains of ancient monuments, dynastic records, and social and local traditions. Ziauddin Barani, a historian influenced by Persian and Arabic historiography, has written a book, Tariq-e-Firuz Shahi. In this book, he has stated the purpose of historiography. According to him, the historian's duty is not limited only to the recording of the ruler's valor and policies of welfare, but he should also write about the ruler's failings and incorrect policies. Barani further says that a historian should also take into consideration the impact of the teachings of the wise, the learned, and the saints on the cultural life of people. Thus, Barani expanded the scope of historiography. For the historians in the Mughal courts, praising the emperors and showing of loyalty became more important. Thus, the custom of adding suitable poetic quotes and beautiful pictures was also introduced. Babur, the founder of the Mughal Empire, wrote an autobiography entitled Tuzuk-e-Babari. It contains the descriptions of the battles fought by him. Babur also recorded his minute observations of various regions and cities that he travelled, including the local economy, customs, and the flora. Abul Fazl, one of the 9 gems in the court of Emperor Akbar, wrote Akbar Nama. While writing this book, he used the method of collecting authentic historical documents. Thus, his book, the Akbarnama, is considered realistic from a viewpoint of critical historiography. Another important type of historical document prevalent during the medieval times is the Bakar. The Bakar contained eulogies of the heroes and stories of historic events, battles, and lives of great men. The meaning of eulogy is actually a tribute that praises someone who has recently passed away. The following are some of the famous Marathi Bakars. The Sabhasad Bakar was written by Krishnaji Anand Sabhasad during the rule of Chhatrapati Rajaram Maharaj. It is an important Bakar for getting information about the rule of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. The next is the Bahu Sahibanchi Bakar. It describes the Battle of Panipat. The other is the Holkaranchi Kaifiyat. It provides information about the Holkars and their contributions to the Maratha rule. Bakars can be divided into various types, such as biographies of kings, dynastic history, descriptions of events, history of a sect, autobiographies regarding grievance based on mythologies, and state administration by a king. Historiography in the modern period. It was in the 20th century that research and archaeological exploration began under the British rule. Under the supervision of Sir Alexander Cunningham, many ancient sites mentioned in the Buddhist texts were excavated. He was the first Director General of the Archaeological Survey of India. Under the tenure of Sir John Marshall, the Harappan civilization was discovered. Because of this discovery, the antiquity of Indian history could be traced to the 3rd millennium BCE or even earlier. In the course of time, many British officials started writing about Indian history. James Mill was the first British historian who wrote 3 volumes of the book The History of British India, published in the year 1817. His writings in this book does not reflect any objective perspective or prejudice about various aspects of Indian culture. Mountstuart Elphinstone, Governor of Bombay, now known as Mumbai, wrote a book, The History of India. It was published in the year 1841. Among all other British historians, Grandduff, a British officer, stands out. He wrote about the Maratha history in his book, A History of the Marathas. This book was published in 3 volumes. Grandduff's writing also shows the British inclination of condemning Indian culture and history. A similar tendency is witnessed in Colonel Todd's writing about Rajasthan's history. It was Neelkant Janardhan Kirtane and Vishwanath Kashinath Rajwade, the 2 Indian historians who took upon the task of exposing the limitations of Grandduff's writings. Now, the next topic of this lesson, that is 2.2 Indian Historiography, various ideological frameworks. This part of the lesson we will continue in the upcoming video. This was all for now. If you like this video, then please give it a like, share the video with your friends and subscribe for more such videos. Meet you in the next video. Till then, take care.